introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Rayna. I'm the owner of Foglo Spray Tans and Boutique. Been in business since 2020. I actually started out mobile. I needed some kind of outlet. I was in real estate for 15 years. Kind of lost my passion for it the last 5 years or so. I started raising my great niece, and I had a toddler. And with real estate, as you guys know, it's a 24/7 job, and I just couldn't juggle it all. And besides, I didn't really love it anymore. And so I needed to do something more creative and something that was more fun. So I started spray tanning, being a mobile spray tan artist, just on the side, just for friends and just to see how that would go. It quickly took off, and I couldn't be mobile anymore. I couldn't service all my clients driving back and forth, and so with my husband's urging and encouragement, we opened a brick and mortar on Locust here in town. And tiny little space, and it really served us very well. I decided to add a clothing boutique to it, and we did pretty well, and my clients had a place to come and tan. And recently we had the opportunity to move to Main Street, and that has been amazing. We've been there since February. I was able to add a staff, and then also 3 other spray tan artists have joined me that I've trained, and it's going well. I have a great team, and I'm super grateful and appreciative for all they do for me. Kim runs the show in the front. You'll probably see her the most, or Christina up there representing us very well. Gabby is like my right-hand girl when it comes to spray tanning. We have 2 others that are more on a part-time basis, but yeah, I feel like God really set me up with a good group to help me manage this, because I found out last October that I was pregnant, and I already have 4 girls. My oldest is 24, and then Emma is 22, and then Grace is 15, and my great niece is 8, or gonna be 8. And so I was done. And God said, no, you're not. And so I thought I was dying, guys. I thought I had cancer or something was really gravely wrong with me. I ended up going to the ER because I was having some respiration issues. So they ran all these tests. I said, I know there's something really wrong with me. Like, I'm probably dying. And so they did all this blood work and x-rays, and 2 things. I had RSV, which was kind of odd because none of my kids had it, and they're older, and it's kind of a childhood virus. And they said, and there's one other thing. So I knew that was like the big bad news. And he asked me if I was trying to get pregnant, and I just started laughing because that's silly. I'm 48 years old, so no, I'm not trying to get pregnant. And he said, well, you are pregnant. And I said, no, I'm not. It's someone else's test, redo it. I said, what else can cause positive pregnancy test? And he said, ovarian cancer. I said, then I know that's what I have. I didn't want it, but I just knew. And
Maybe ovarian cancer.
so he sent me to get an ultrasound immediately, and there was a heartbeat.
Wow.
So I'm grateful for that. I really am. And my baby's 6 months old now, and he's the biggest blessing, and I can't talk about him without crying. He's a boy. I have 4 girls, and so that made it even more sweet. But yeah, so I have a lot on my plate, and that's why I'm so grateful for my girls, because they're running things for me when I can't, and I have complete confidence and trust in them. And so when Rachel asked me to speak, it's hard for me to say no, so I immediately just said yes. Of course, I'll say yes to anybody who asks me for something. But then immediately I was like, why did I say yes to that? Like, I don't know how I can even be an inspiration to anybody right now. I am dealing with, we're all friends, and this is about honesty and being real. I'm experiencing some serious postpartum depression, and in the midst of all of that, and I didn't feel like I could really inspire anybody at this place in my life. On top of just dealing with like life and personal issues and stuff that comes at us. But after encouragement from good friends, I knew that I had to, because I think that's what people want. They want real. They don't want a facade or people who are perfect, because none of us are. And so I'm glad I'm here, guys. Thanks for having me. I'm totally not a public speaker. I did take notes because I have to. I will just go off and totally lose focus. So I'm sorry if you think it's rude, but I just need to look at my notes. It's like my phone is burning a hole in my back right here. So basically what I wanted to talk about was finding your inner flow. Yeah, I'm putting my glasses on before I go off topic. So anyway, I do know this, that life's lessons, imperfections, and even failures are what make our stories unique and beautiful, and they make us real, and they make us relatable to other women, especially moms, wives, and just business women in general in the community. I think those are the people I'm drawn to because I know I'm so far from perfect, and so it's just easier to relate, I feel like, when you're honest with like who you really are, and people appreciate that more. I always aspire to be a light to others and to be an inspiration. And I've always loved helping others, which is one of the reasons I got into real estate, because that's huge. You know, you're helping people accomplish their dreams. And then spray tanning just happened because it's the only way I can tan personally. I have allergies to the sun, and it's just the safest way that I can get a tan. And so I wanted to be able to bring that to others who, you know, I knew about all the horror stories of like going in the booth and coming out like Ross and all of those things. And so I wanted to be able to deliver a better service and product to people, something that I wanted for myself that I couldn't necessarily find. And so that's why I really, like, it seems silly, but like I pride myself in being a great spray tan artist, because the confidence that you see in the women when they leave is just, that's my reward for my job. And I know my girls feel that way too. My phone locks on me every 10 seconds, so I'm really in trouble. So that being said, although I've always wanted to be a light, I don't feel like my light has always been very bright. There was a time that it was pretty dim, to be honest. I wasn't living my life the way I was intended to live it. I was kind of just had selfish ambitions, pride, lots of emotional baggage, and I was going about life without any real direction, and I didn't really know true happiness or joy. I was getting nowhere fast, guys, and I got very tired of it. And I knew that I had to make some serious changes, and once I recognized what changes I needed to make and prioritize the things that I needed to do in my life and cut things out, including people that weren't serving me spiritually, that were sucking the life out of me mentally and emotionally, then the shadows and darkness started to lift. And I could walk with my head held high, and my heart was full, and I wanted to share that and spread that to others, because I know what it's like to need that inspiration. And so that was where my journey began, on really reconnecting with the person who created me, God. And my mom used to always, my mom passed in January of 2020. 2020, so she didn't get to see this part of my life. And that's a regret for me, but my mom would always say, darkness doesn't like the light. And that stuck with me. And it's so true. You can't have darkness if there's light, and it will flee. And I wholeheartedly know that and believe that. And we do live in a dark world. We do. It's increasingly getting darker, guys. But we can respond. The way we respond to what happens around us is in our control. So we don't have to let that darkness seep into our life or take over our light. We could still shine so that others have that hope. And so I'm gonna just go over some things that I found helped me to find my inner glow. And the first thing is just admit that we're real and we're not perfect. When we can admit that we're wrong, it's really the only way you can learn from your mistakes. Accountability is huge, and that was something I had to do. Finding your truth. The truth will make you free is it's a real statement, it's a real thing. You can either live your truth or fix it if you're not living it. I like to know that the life I'm living is one that will make my children proud, and then even their children. So it's about legacy and what we're leaving behind. This world is so temporary, but whatever legacy we leave behind will remain. And so that's really important to me. And then just staying humble. Humility, the definition of humility is free from pride or arrogance. And in the Bible, it's presented as the practice of meekness, obedience to God, respect of self and others, submissiveness, and modesty. People with humility put others' needs before their own and sacrificing for the love of others. I always feel like if you just, of course, don't just put everyone before yourself, but in a lot of ways, even in dealing with people, we deal with difficult people sometimes, family members. I just feel I got off track. I'm not gonna lie. But putting others first really humbles you. It puts you back in your place because none of us are above anybody else. And so when we remember that, it gives us more empathy and compassion, I feel like, towards others. And I feel like the world kind of needs more of that. It's easy to lose sight of that and be into the whole self-love mindset, which is wonderful and awesome. We should love ourselves and care for ourselves, but not to a point where we forget to love others, I feel like. And then just growing in who you are as a person, in your passions. You don't want to stay stagnant. I think, God intends for us to enrich our relationships with others and just always work on yourself. I feel like I could always learn something new and more, even about things that I feel like I'm an expert in and things that I'm not, obviously. So growing in that way, and then give of yourself, give of your time. That's kind of in line with humility, but just putting others before ourselves and doing for others, it's twice as rewarding when we give than when we get. And I just feel like blessing others is such a blessing to us. Gratitude is huge. Being grateful for the things that, not just that we have, but like daily life. We have breath because God gave us another day. It's easy to focus on what's going wrong in our life or what we're lacking or what we wish things could be like, and instead of focusing on like what the many blessings in our life. I mean, we have our health, we have our children, we have, these connections and friendships, and those things are things to be very grateful for. So just remembering to be grateful, it sets our mind on those things and not the things that could easily bring us down by dwelling on them. And love like God. God loves us regardless of our shortcomings, and I think we're definitely not on the level of Jesus, but to want to be, like-minded, and just love others wholeheartedly, it's going to, the more you love, I feel like your heart just grows for others. I'm sorry. There's a lot of people in this world that just don't feel lovable, and I've been there. And so when someone extends themselves and shows us love, even when we feel the least deserving, it literally can be life-changing to somebody, and it could not just turn someone's day around, but it could save people, guys. And so I want to show that love and extend that love that I've been given, not just by people, but by God. Like, I know He loves me, and I want to spread that because others, I think, are hurting, and they're in need of that love. And so that's really important. Have faith. We gotta have faith in something, you guys. We have to believe in something. We're not doing it on our own. I know, like, we all have a purpose, and I was told that anyone who's here today needed to be here today, and I do believe that, and that's why I also am glad that I agreed to be here, because if I can just inspire or encourage just one of you today, then I feel like, okay, I did what I was supposed to do, and I didn't just go up there and waste everybody's time. But having faith in someone bigger than you, and that's God, to me, is what's going to get you through the dark and the hard times, because we can't do it on our own. There's just absolutely no way, and that's what I tried to do for many years, and just had no direction, and it was not a good place to be in. It's a place I never want to be in again. And I know that my faith is what has got me through, and that's the only reason I'm sitting here today, is because of my faith. And then lastly, just share your truth. You never know who needs to hear it, and you never know who needs someone to be very real and honest with them, and know, we're all imperfect, and we all come from somewhere. We all have our stories and our baggage, but that doesn't mean that we can't rise above that. And so I think just sharing your truth, as a spray tan artist, I'm in a room with people naked, and they feel so ready to share their life with me, because they're already comfortable with me if they can get undressed in front of me, which I'm completely humbled by, and I'm grateful that they have that trust. But people will just spill their guts to me, and I think it's because I let them know, I am an imperfect person too, and I have all these flaws, and I am, not judging them. I actually, I'm humbled by them. And so I think just being real and sharing your truth and who you are. I've been able to share my story to a lot of my clients who have been like hurting and needing someone to talk to, and when they know that I've also come from places that weren't the best. I didn't just wake up one day and was just glowing and started this business and everything is flowers, and I came from some hard times, and I wasn't a person that you guys probably even would have wanted to be friends with, to be honest. And I think when they realize that I'm being honest with them and who I really am, they appreciate that more. And then we become fast friends because that's what happens in my tantrums. So yeah, I didn't just wake up one day and was completely transformed. It took some time. And I've always been Rayna, I've always been me, but I haven't always been the best version of myself. And now I can say that over time and working on myself and getting closer in my relationships, including with my God, that I am striving to be the best version of myself. I don't think we should ever stop and just say, okay, I'm perfect now, I'm good. Like, I don't need to work anymore at this. We should always, keep it moving. But I still have my down days. This is one of the hardest seasons of my life. I struggled so much getting prepared to be here. Cried a lot, questioned myself a lot, asked for prayer a lot. Because I haven't always felt very bright and glowy in the last 6 months since I've had my baby. But I didn't let my light go out. And that's something that we just have to remember, is to never let it go out. And so I know that I'm restored each and every day. And God's love and His grace for me is very real, and I feel it, and I know it to be true because I've lived it. And my faith will always overpower my feelings now. So, in a nutshell, I don't take credit for all my accomplishments or the things that have now transpired with Foglow. It's really hard for me to actually, because I feel like the moment I made that transition and said, enough is enough, can't do this on my own, I need God's help, I need to surrender and know that I'm an imperfect person, things just started lining up and doors started opening, and they weren't anything I did. It wasn't like oh, Rayna did that, like I accomplished it. It really wasn't. It was like doors were just opening for me, and I couldn't believe it, but then I could because I know who my God is. But even like being on Main Street, like it all fell on Kim coming in my store, like how did I get Gabby? How did I get so lucky to get Gabby? She walked in to get a spray tan one day. Like, it's just, I feel like that's what the momentum, that's what will happen. It just kind of trickles out. So it is really hard for me when people say like, oh, you've accomplished so much and I'm so inspired by you. It's kind of hard for me to accept that because I know I didn't get here by myself at all. And so I just want to encourage you guys today to, we all go through stuff. We all go through, different seasons in our life. Find your inner glow and don't ever let it go out completely. And if you guys ever want to talk to anybody, or you just need encouragement, or just to chat, I am wholeheartedly here for you all. I feel honored and humbled when people want to come to me and talk to me and need me to pray with them or need encouragement. It just fills my spirit with like so much joy to know that like, what? They want to hear from me. Like, I love that. The fact that I can be positive in someone's life is everything to me. And that's why I really do love what I do. Because it's not just the aesthetic of the spray tan, it's the connections I make with the women, some men, but mostly with women I make connections. I just spray tan men. It's amazing. I feel like this is an opportunity for me to reach women that I normally wouldn't have had. So it's much deeper than a spray tan to me, and I just appreciate you all for being here and wanting to hear me ramble. But does anybody have questions or anything before we?
I think you're so beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I felt like I love, because I'm not a good public speaker either.
Yeah.
Just that you put yourself out there. I'm like nervous for you.
Thank you.
It's so beautiful. It's those simple, beautiful reminders of like, you know, who we are and what we're here for.
So beautiful, Julie.
I also it's very impressive to me that you can be coherent in a 6-month-old. my brain is not functioning.
That's why I was like, I'll start talking about what my baby did. And that put me in a dark place. And I had to go by my notes.
I just always have looked up to you, and you know that. I mean, we've gone to church together for years prior, and when I decided to get in real estate, I'm like, I want to be like Rayna. That's my inspiration. Then she got out of it, and I was like, oh.
Now you're my
Right. But I've always believed in you, and when you opened your store and you gave my daughter her first job, which she took so much pride in, and you've always just been a champion for joy, and I don't think sometimes you recognize that, but you really are, and there are eyes looking at you, and you are inspiring to so many.
Thank you. I love you.
Thank you.
Was your mom the type of person who always dropped those pieces of wisdom, or was that her one thing, or what? Where did that come from?
Yeah, my mom had a very close relationship with God towards the end of her life. I mean, her latter years. My mom wasn't very old. She did pass from cancer very quickly. But she was my inspiration. She was my prayer partner. Yeah, so I do think of her a lot, and I know she'd be proud.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would love to be like my mom.
Not to cry all over you.
It's really hard to talk about her, but thank you for asking.
I just wanted to say thank you for being so raw. I once I didn't come, but 10 minutes before, it's like, no, you gotta go, you gotta go. And so I came here. I know we've only met a few times, but I came here to support you, and just you being so raw sometimes as moms, as career women, as everything that we do, we look like we have it all together, and we don't. So thank you for being raw, because that for some of us who try to pretend like we are perfect, that's hard.
Yes.
That's very hard.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I'm glad you came.
Thank you so much for your touching story, and this is what this group is all about. I mean, being mothers, being women, being business owners, all of it. I just really want us as women to just get to know each other in more of a real way than what we kind of feel like these days, having social media and all the things, we only see the perfect part, and we kind of assume like everyone's got it all together, and we all are struggling in different ways, and I just hope we as women can come together and support each other and uplift each other, and same, like if you need to one-on-one chat or struggle with something or anything, I'm January, I will be telling my story.
Nice.
So now I know I'm putting myself in your and I'm not a public speaker either. So yeah. So I hope thank you all for coming. We did chat for a little bit and but
I have a shameless plug on behalf of Greet Ribbon Magazine. While I have a room of women. Okay. If you, with Carrie, the beautiful Carrie Suite, I collect recipes for Great Ribbon and then I make them and publish them, but they're not my recipes, they're your recipes. And so it's an opportunity to share recipes with each other within our community. And I'm like always very desperate for submissions. And like I have like 2 days to like do one for January. So if you'd like to be, if you'd like to contribute, it could be like a cocktail, it could be like an app.
I'm taking it
like,
at this point.
So don't make it a souffle. Like, I'm a busy girl, but no, it can honestly be anything.
I love it.
I'm not a food stylist. I take it with my Android phone, but
It
it adds a lot.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah.
You send me the recipe in your story. I style it.
Wow.
And then I take a photo and publish it. And the December issue features Kelly's mom's wassail.
Yeah, it's like
What's a waffle?
it's like a
English?
yeah. It's like my mom always made it. She's Dutch. We make it during holidays. It's drink. You can also put like alcohol.